Katie lied. From watching and reading the internet, I've seen some really intelligent ex-Scientologists like you and Geyer Icene. What I am more impressed about is the number of ex-Scientologists who are extremely self-aware, like Brian Culkin. I suppose this is a result of so much introspection done when auditing. I don't know any Scientologists, so I would like to ask you, are current, believing Scientologists just as self-aware? And how does this willingness to face personal flaws and issues not transfer over to facing institutional flaws and issues in the Church of Scientology? The auditing process in Scientology makes a person very introverted and very quick to look inward at themselves and blame themselves for things that are going on in their lives. And also part of that is Hubbard's definition of responsibility, where it all comes back to you, right? It's all your fault for everything that ever happened to you. You pulled it in, or you are responsible for your own condition, and this sort of thing. And Hubbard's writings on this are pretty gross in the effects that they have on people, because people in Scientology end up, taking responsibility for things that they really had no causation over at all and have no business feeling responsible for. So that self-awareness, I think, it becomes an unhealthy amount of introspection, and I don't particularly think that that's very good for people. However, of course, on the other side of that coin is it is good to know what's going on in your mind and what your thoughts are and how you feel about things. And of course, there's nothing wrong with any of that. So, it's depending on how far you take it and how far you get, involved in the whole auditing process depends on how deep down that rabbit hole you can go. I saw all levels of it in Scientology. I saw people who, were very, very, very introspected. And I saw other people who really didn't get into it too much, and their auditing wasn't particularly very deep running either. They just weren't that interested in getting that introverted. So it depends. Everybody had individual reactions to it. As far as this transferring over to criticalness about the church, I mean, I think it's these are two different things. And in fact, when a person's getting auditing and feeling like they're getting benefits from it and feel like they're improving from that process, and there's a lot of suggestion and indoctrination in Scientology to lend a person to that frame of mind that they're improving as a result of their auditing, then they don't want to look critically at Scientology. They don't want to look at its flaws. They're much more quick to write off any organizational problems or issues. And I've seen Scientologists on my YouTube channel and otherwise flat out say, I don't care if David Miscavige beats his staff. I get wins out of Scientology, so what do I care, right? I've actually seen statements to that effect. So the effect of that auditing can be pretty intense on some people. And of course, I've written articles and talked about how Scientology creates a narcissistic attitude in people as well. And I think that's a side effect, or maybe not even a side effect, it's sort of a direct effect of the auditing processes, right? And what is done with a person to make them feel so, a counter to, or a corollary, of that responsibility business in Scientology is a puffed up sense of self-importance, where you feel like because you're responsible for everything that you are the one who caused it, right? And so therefore you look at how important you are, right? And that sort of is a narcissistic attitude. So a lot of things feed into this, but I think that's I don't think that the level of self-awareness that Scientology tries to put a person into is particularly healthy overall.